Assalamualaikum Pak Anggi.
Halo.
Ohayou gozaimasu. Takako, Sensei.
Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me today.
Selamat pagi Pak Acep. Ohayou gozaimasu. Dr. Takako Kohori.
Pak Anggi masih punya itu nggak virtual background-nya? Saya mau ambil dari WhatsApp, nggak masuk.
Izin masuk Bapak Ibu. Virtual background-nya ada di kolom chat. Bisa diakses lewat link yang ada di kolom chat. Ah. Acara webinar arsitektur lanskap dengan tema The Role of Public Open Space During Natural Disaster akan dimulai beberapa saat lagi. The Landscape Architecture Webinar Event with the theme The Role of Public Open Space During Natural Disaster will start in a while. Kepada seluruh peserta dimohon untuk mengaktifkan kamera dan menonaktifkan audio selama acara berlangsung. To all participants, please turn on the camera and turn off the audio during the event. Terima kasih. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. Selamat pagi, salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Good morning everyone. May peace be open as well. Yang terhormat, Bapak Acep Purkon SSI MSI PhD, selaku Direktur ITERA International Office. The Honorable Mr. Acep Purkon SSI MSI PhD as a Head of ITERA International Office. Yang terhormat Bapak Dr. Insinyur Bambang Sulistiantara MAGR, selaku Kepala Program Studi Arsitektur Lanskap ITERA, beserta jajarannya. The Honorable Mr. Dr. Insinyur Bambang Sulistiantara MAGR, as a Head of Department Landscape Arsitektur ITERA with the staff. Yang terhormat, Dr. Takako Kohori selaku pemateri, The Honorable Mrs. Dr. Takako Kohori as a speaker in this webinar. Yang terhormat, Bapak Anggi Mardianto selaku moderator pada acara pada pagi hari ini. The Honorable Mr. Anggi Mardianto as a moderator on this morning discussion. Puji syukur kita panjatkan atas kehadirat Tuhan Yang Maha Esa yang telah memberikan kesehatan sehingga kita semua dapat menghadiri acara pada pagi hari ini. Praise to God, who has given all give us help so we can get together in this wonderful event. Kami ucapkan selamat datang kepada seluruh peserta webinar Landscape Arsitektur yang bertema The Role of Public Open Space during Natural Disaster. We welcome all participants in Landscape Arsitektur webinar with this theme, The Role of Public Open Space during Natural Disaster. Sebelumnya, izinkan saya memperkenalkan diri. Saya Nabila Odifa Zain, mahasiswa Arsitektur Lanskap ITERA, bertugas sebagai MC yang akan memandu acara pada pagi hari ini. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Nabila Odifa Zain. I'm a student at Landscape Arsitektur in Sumatera Institute of Technology, and I will be your Master of Ceremony today. Sebelum memulai acara hari ini, ada baiknya kita berdoa terlebih dahulu. Berdoa menurut agama dan kepercayaan masing-masing. Before we get into the lecture, we might take a moment to pray with our own religion and belief. Berdoa dimulai. Praying begins. Selesai? Finish? Baiklah, acara selanjutnya adalah menyanyikan lagu Indonesia Raya. Alright, next we going to sing an Indonesian national anthem, Indonesia Raya. Hadirin dimohon duduk dengan posisi tegak. For all audience, please sit in an upright position. Acara selanjutnya adalah sambutan yang akan disampaikan oleh Bapak Acep Prukon SSI MSI PhD selaku Direktur ITERA International Office. Kepada Bapak, waktu dan tempat disilahkan. Next session, we will listen the opening speech from Mr. Acep Prukon SSI MSI PhD as a head of ITERA International Office. For Mr. Acep Prukon, time and screen is yours.
Oke. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Tabi pun.
Ya pun.
My speech first, welcoming to the Honorable Dr. Takako Kohori. Ohayo gozaimasu. And Chairman of Landscape Department, Pak Bambang Tara. Selamat pagi. And many guests here, I think from BPBD Lampung, and so many out here. Yeah, first of all, ITERA, we are then happy that one more, Panggi. First of all, we would like to thanks for everyone who joined this meeting, this discussion, and the single presenter today will be Dr. Takako Kohori. And today, the top very important for Indonesia, I think, and so many people have interest for this one, for landscape architecture perspective. The topic is the role of public open space during natural disaster. As everyone know, in Indonesia, so many natural disaster potentially, and it's related to how the people address this topic and how to manage and how to learn about this one. And I think today Dr. Takako Kohori will talk about this one, very important one. As we know, I think Japan has many good benchmarking and many lessons learned from Japan, how the Japan can manage for this opportunity. And I think it will open so many innovation. I think research and technology in this field, I think still open and advanced study for this one. And she will deliver or she will talk about this one in detail. I really, I believe everyone will enjoy this talk. So please, Takako Kohori Sensei, please share to us about this one. And I think so many people, the young generation or young people, or young Indonesian people will learn about this one. And we also hope as international office ITERA for collaboration with Tokyo University. If you have chance, please visit us. I think you can see directly the situation here. As you know, Lampung is one of province with the complete natural disaster potential. So many things. So I think it's relevant with our local issue, how to educate people or how to make public open space. I think it's very important because so many problem here. I think it's very important to know earlier about this one. I think that's all. So please, everyone, enjoy this talk and discussion. Please ask so many questions to her, and we can learn about this one. And the important thing after this meeting, we make follow up how to collaborate or how to further collaboration between ITERA and Tokyo University. I think ITERA really welcome all people to come here I think Pak Bambang as well know about this one, and we really support. ITERA really support about this matter. I think that's all. I will open this meeting officially by say Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I open officially this discussion. Thank you very much.
Terima kasih Bapak Aceh Purkon atas sambutannya. Thank you Mr. Aceh Purkon for the insight. Memasuki acara inti, yaitu pemaparan materi dalam webinar yang akan disampaikan oleh Dr. Takako Kohori. And that was the only beginning. Now we are going to the main session on today's webinar. Listen to lecture by Dr. Takako Kohori.
Izin sebentar untuk Nabila, boleh untuk saya dokumentasikan.
Baik, Pak.
Untuk semua peserta, mohon untuk menghidupkan kameranya karena ingin saya dokumentasikan.
Should I share my slide? Is it okay?
Okay.
Please wait a moment. Okay, Takako Sensei. Please wait a moment. We try to take a picture together. Apa sudah cukup? Is it enough? Sudah cukup, Mas Aksa?
Oke, cukup.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Nabila.
Ya.
Ya, silakan Nabila, dilanjutkan.
Oke, terima kasih Pak. Memasuki acara inti, yaitu pemaparan materi dan dalam webinar yang akan disampaikan oleh Dr. Takako Kohori. And that was only the beginning. Now we are going to the main session on today's webinar. Listen to lecture by Dr. Takako Kohori. Dan sesi diskusi serta tanya jawab akan dipandu secara langsung oleh Bapak Anggi Mardianto selaku moderator. And the discussion and Q&A akan be led by Mr. Anggi Mardianto as a moderator. Kepada Pak Anggi dan Dr. Kohori, waktu dan tempat disilakan. For Mr. Anggi and Dr. Kohori, time and screen is yours.
Thank you so much, Nabila, for lead us the lecture today, and thank you so much for Dr. Kohori Sensei. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, selamat pagi to all the participants in this webinar. Thank you for being here. Before I give the time to Kohori Sensei, let me briefly introducing Dr. Kohori Sensei. Dr. Kohori is a researcher from Laboratory of Forest Landscape Planning and Design, Graduate School of Agriculture and Life Sciences, the University of Tokyo. And she completed bachelor to doctoral degree at Chiba University, and she also has an experience study at IPB University for several years. She has so many achievements and activities, and of course today she will share the experience about the role of public oversight during natural disaster. Okay, for saving the time, I will give to Dr. Kohori Sensei for sharing your experience to us. To Dr. Kohori Sensei, please, time is yours. You can start your presentation. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu.
Thank you so much. Okay, I share my slide. Can you see it?
Okay,
Okay.
we can see clearly your presentation. Okay, please start.
It is a very great honor to be able to speak to you today. Today's presentation title is The Role of Public Open Space During Natural Disasters. Okay, first I introduction myself. My name is Takako Kohori, and my research interest is landscape planning and national parks and tourism. And as Angie Sensei say, Dr. Angie says, my history. Okay, my education is I graduate Chiba University, and when I was a PhD course, I studied at IPB University in and I'm so happy to see Bambam professor today. I'm so surprised, and I'm so happy to meet him again. And now I restart postdoctoral fellowship in JSPS, and I belong Tokyo University now. And it is very short introduction, but I want to introduce you my PhD. I study alun-alun, so many Indonesian. I think students from Java are very familiar with this open space. And in my doctoral thesis, I focused on the historical value of open space. So alun-alun have a deep and multi-faced historical background. Thus, the study regards them as an asset to historical heritage, representing an important part of the culture and history of Indonesia. I survey old map in Indonesia and count one by one like this and make a map. So when I studied about alun-alun, I'm so surprised to using a very wide open space in Indonesia people. So this surprise connect disaster resilience open space. Okay, so first I want to share the global research in about disaster resilience. So in global, cities in the world always have faced a risk of natural disaster. As you know, in the aftermath of a disaster, the concept of resilience is important for mitigation, restoration, and rehabilitation. UNISDR notes to achieve sustainable development, resilience, and disaster risk reduction must be part of urban design and strategy. According to the enhancement of disaster resilience in urban area is an extremely important topic. So Alan is a famous urban planning researcher. He developed a theoretical framework to understand how open space can influence recovery from the correlations between the concept of resilience and urban design. So he notes the resilience attribute from the following seven keywords. So diversity, modularity, innovation, tight feedback, overlap in governance, ecosystem service, and variability. I read his paper, but actually this key was so conceptual. So, however, following Alan's work, research about open space for seismic resilience was promoted gradually. Another researcher, Emily, notes that this topic was relatively few before 2010 and have grown rapidly since then. So Emily French research paper is 2019, and so after the 2010. So in previous studies, the criteria for disaster resilience of open space are presented as follows. From this, as you can see, the criteria set out by Alan's study are more specifically described. In these studies, like this daily use and interconnected system and different typologies are overlapping. So this one, and this one. So however, there is almost no mention of disaster prevention park in Japan. Yes, so in this lecture, I want to share the Japan's research to you. Because why Emily cannot mention about Japan's park, because it is described in only Japanese, so they cannot read. So I think it is quite not good thing. So okay, so next is I think you know about this one, but I just explain you easily the natural disaster risk on Indonesia. Japan and Indonesia are located on the Pacific Rim. So we live in a area which have a high risk. So it is a city in Bandung photo. Indonesia, the fourth largest population globally, especially in urban area with high population density. It means the risk of natural disaster in urban area is extremely high. So to mitigate disaster damage, what point we should focus? So there are so many points. For example, create building strong and non-combustible. So strong with fire. For example, widen roads. So create evacuation areas and making a green network. There are so many points, I think. But today we focus urban open space, like alun-alun could be useful for disaster resilience. Because Indonesia have a good place, so it's very important to connect ordinary open space to disaster resilience. So next, it is today's main topic. So open space for seismic resilience in Japan. Actually, there are three major earthquakes in Japan. It is turning points in open space planning. So maybe I think most of you know this one. 2011, the Great East Japan earthquake. So, but nearly 100 years ago, there Great Kanto earthquake. There is it is very big turning point. Okay, I explain you one by one. So first is 1923, the Great Kanto earthquake. So it is the type of damage is fire spreading. So as approximately 60% of the house in Tokyo were affected, many residents were moved to evacuation areas. So this is a photo of Tokyo. So everything is burned. In the building in Tokyo University is used stone. So university don't fire. So very lucky because there are so many important documents and materials. So this is Asakusa Park from sky. So it is a little bit difficult, but you know, this is a temple, Asakusa Temple. And this, maybe, wait. Here, this is the Asakusa Temple and the surrounding trees here. So these surrounding trees stop the fire spreading. This is a very important photo, I think. And by record, there were 160 evacuation areas. So 59 places in shrines and temples, and 42 places in schools, and people took shelter in tents and temporary housing. So this is a shrine, Kudan Yasukuni Shrine. So this is a monument, gate. So this is a tent. So people, because their house burned, everyone moved here. So many people moved here. And Ueno Park is a famous park in Japan, in Tokyo. So there are monuments, so big monuments. So many streetcars looking for family. So for example, this is Masuda. Masuda is the family name. So this is Ota. And if you read, you can find some name. So it is let them know they are safe. Let them know to family for the safe. And this is also Ueno Park photo and food distribution photo. 500,000 people were evacuated to Ueno Park. Yeah, 500,000 is an amazing number, I think. So the need for open space featured prominently in the recovery plan, turning point in the history of open space in Japan. So after the Great Kanto earthquake, 3 big urban parks and 52 small urban parks are made. So this small park is very unique one. So this is the plan. So 52 small urban parks park layout plan were based on the number of children, attraction levels, required areas, and so on. So 52 small urban parks located next to primary school. So there is a gate. So this is a primary school's building, and this is a school open space, and this is a urban open space. So this one is a combination. So Motomachi Park is one of the park, and still remained. So if you come to Tokyo, you can go to Motomachi Park, and this place is here, and this steps is actually, this is the gate. This gate is here. So as you can see, design of these small parks were taken away from the traditional Japanese garden idea, and it is decorated with flat ornaments. So because it is still 1923, that kind of park is very modern style. And also, here is a school, primary school, and there is a fence. And you can see display equipment here. So this is a very good example place. So another example of plan view for small urban parks are like this. Sorry, this is Japanese. But here is a school, and here is a park area. So as you can see, there are like some monument here, and monument here, and monument here. But actually, because it is 100 years ago, one by one, this park changed. So Motomachi Park is remained one, and it is a very important one, because other parks is already we cannot see. So summary is a great Kanto earthquake. It is this evacuation point from Masaru Sato, 1977. And for the first time, the government acquired private land to create a park. And for the first time, small parks was created through land readjustment. For the first time, riverside parks were created. And issue a problem. However, the new park was only 1/5 of the originally planned area due to budget constraints. So first plan, there are so many parks, and each park have actually combination and like network, making a network, but because of the budget, only 52 park can made. But actually, this is a very important legend now. So next summary, discussions on how open space should be for a safe living environment. So proposal for a waterside park, ensuring pathway connecting parks, proposal for pathway and group out, creating parks for everyday life, not just for evacuation shelter. So it is a Masuda Noboru paper. So the Great Kanto earthquake is turning point because from this time, so many people interested in urban open space for using disaster and create a more safe area. So from these earthquakes, Japan urban area is think about more good condition. Okay, let's back to this figure. And next is I want to explain the Great Hanshin Awaji earthquake. Wait, before Great Hanshin Awaji earthquake, I want to explain you this one. 1978 large-scale earthquake countermeasures law is created. So from this 1978 disaster prevention park project established. So I want to explain what is the disaster prevention park. So disaster prevention park, sorry, I like parks, but open spaces, park and open space is nearly same meaning in Japan as in this topic. So urban parks and green space buffer used as wide area evacuation shelter or evacuation route. So requirements are as follows. Cities in urban areas of metropolitan areas and adjacent areas. So population density is 100 person by hectare or more. And the total buildings of non-fireproof building is 1/5 or more of the areas of the concerned zone. So in this case, the city needs to create urban parks within an area of 10 hectares or more, or greenways with a width of 10 meters or more. So in this from the large-scale earthquake countermeasures law, especially a big city, metropolitan city like Japan, like Tokyo, needs to create urban parks or greenways. So, Great Hanshin Awaji earthquake. Actually, Hanshin Awaji earthquake also hit very urban area. Okay, so this type of damage is epicenter earthquake, collapsed buildings. So maybe I should show you the map. Hanshin Awaji earthquake is Kobe city, is near to Kyoto and near to Osaka, and Kobe is also very have a high population, but actually not so many people like Tokyo. So until this time, there are not so many open space for disaster resilience. So about 6,400 people killed, damage concentrated in densely built-up areas. So this is a very shock. I have shocked this photo. So it is a highway. Highway is like this. And there are also so many fires. So this is a park. Actually, as you can see, this is one park. So this park is not big one, but because of a tree, stop the fire spreading. So because if burned, the fire comes from here, but because of this park around this house can safe because next to park. So how open space were utilized as evacuation areas? So from Masuda Noboru papers, he pointed three utilization. So first, utilization as emergency evacuation space. Second, utilization as a first aid station. Third, utilization as a base for recovery and reconstruction. So from his, not only his, okay, so I explain one by one. This figure is Wako Kenji, is 1998 paper. So utilization as emergency evacuation space. Reasons for selection of as emergency evacuation site. So it this figure show where they moving, where they evacuate. So why why they evacuate and why. So first one is close to home. Sorry, this is a percent. So this is a no building, gathering, daily use area. Daily use area, I think it is also close to their home, and no entry, cannot entry in school. So because I think because they cannot enter school because there are already so many people there. And this is a get information. They want to get information in park and look for someone. So I think look for family or neighborhood people. And this is adjustment, adjacent to school. So this is other and unknown. So the emergency evacuation site is selected based on the distance from home, regardless of the size of the park. So distance from home to evacuation site. So this is immediately and 70 days, until 17 days. So when earthquakes occurred, people evacuate until 15 meters open space. Most, I think nearly 65%. So immediately after the earthquakes, here, 63.6% of evacuees home were within 15 meters of park. It means indicates the need for familiar open space with short attraction distance. So as you know, from this research, we understand it's important to create open space within 15 meters. And from this figure, from this research, when earthquake occurred, the size is not big problem. Distance is more important for them when immediately time. So this is example photo. Example photo of utilization as a base for recovery and reconstructions. So people can actually they make here. They cook here, and there is a gas, propane gas, and this is fires, and he brings some food, and many people come to here. So because the car is like this size, this open space also not wide area. Okay, and also utilization as first aid station. So this is a Minami Komae Park in Kobe. So park lined with tents and cars of evacuees. So the adjacent area become a storage area for debris. There are so many garbage there. So open space can live and become a space for garbage, because when the building collapse, so many big garbage need to gather somewhere. It is also there wood, because Great Hanshin Awaji earthquake occurred January 17. So still so cold time in winter. So it is important to get warm. So did you understand how open space were used in disasters? So can you imagine it? Next, let me explain from Let me explain from three perspectives, quoting from Japanese paper: fire protection function of street, small green open space, and trees. Learned from the Great Hanshin Awaji earthquake, open space of less than 0.1 hectare, which had not been considered important from the perspective of distance prevention, contributed to securing lives. Large-scale parks and green space were not developed in the city center where the damage was concentrated. Open space were independent, isolated type in the urban area, need to connect open space and create a network. So from the Great Hanshin Awaji earthquake, there are 2 points, important 2 points. Urban open space were not limited in their functions, so they could flexibly respond to various requests over time after the disaster. The role of urban open space were divided according to their special scale and location. Actually, Hanshin Awaji earthquake, there are so many papers in Japan. So the Great Hanshin Awaji earthquake led to the systematization of disaster prevention open space. So what kind of systematization is spatial scale and time scale. I want to explain you later slide of this one, because we need to move to next disaster. So the Great East Japan earthquake, 2011. I think it is already 10 years ago. So maybe some of you are so small kids. So, but for me, it is very strong. I still remember strongly. So this is a type of damage is attracted by tsunami, widespread catastrophic damage, because different with Hanshin-Awaji earthquake. Hanshin-Awaji earthquake is only one city, but the Great East Japan earthquake is so many wide areas, because of tsunamis. Tsunami, I think so. I feel so terrible, and terrible areas is so wide. So about so many people killed, and tsunami hit coastal town and destroyed them all. So tsunami characteristic. So cannot evacuate. If you don't evacuate, cannot save a life, because there are before the tsunami comes, terrible thing. It becomes terrible thing. So, but as I explained you before, previous disaster prevention open space in Japan have mainly targeted earthquake. For tsunami, conventional criteria do not apply. So it is we need to divide earthquake and tsunamis disasters open space. So requirement from the analysis for evacuations, damage caused by tsunami, to secure a quick evacuation route to higher ground, and also to provide a tsunami attenuation system. So the characteristic of the rear's coast location, introduction of a vertical system to complement the horizontal network. So after the, after the Great East Japan earthquake, this is made Millennium Hope Hills in Miyagi Prefecture. So here is you can see from sea, oceans. So I want to explain these parks detail to you. Because Millennium Hope Hills is so many so many landscape architecture discussions so many times. So I think this is very interesting to you. So Millennium Hope Hills, it is a very wide area. Here is the scale. This is 1 kilometer. So I think this is 10 kilometers. So to utilize land rendered uninhabitable by the tsunami following the Great East Japan earthquake, 6 parks and parkways are located along 10 kilometers strength of the coastline. So the hills are connected by parkway. It is green leaves. So this will reduce the force of tsunami. So it also serves as an evacuation site in the event of tsunami attract. So the foundation of the hills is made of earthquake debris, like here. Here is unnecessary concrete from the disaster areas. This is also tsunami deposited soil. And only here is sand from the mountains. And also this site is used as a memorial park and a place for disaster prevention education. Next I want to share you the video. Is it okay? I want to stop my slide and okay, wait, where is? Sorry for 画面の共有の音声共有のwhere is? 違う。あれスライドショーじゃなくて。OK。Can you see? Okay.
Okay.
Is it okay to hear?
Okay, I can hear the video.
Sorry.
Sennen Kibo no Oka reaches 11 meters at its highest point. Inochi no Oka, or Hill of Life, works as an evacuation point whenever there is a tsunami, but it also serves as a memorial for future generations to remember the disaster. Sennen Kibo no Oka was made with recycled materials from the disaster between the coast of Iwanuma City and Teizanbori Canal. 15 artificial hills such as this will be made on 10 kilometers of land in the area. They made the green embankment, which connects all 15 hills at Sennen Kibo no Oka. They held the first tree planting ceremony in 2013. 30,000 trees will be planted by 2017. The green embankment is 3 meters high. The trees planted along the 3-meter-high road inside the park will grow and eventually become a seawall to protect the city of Iwanuma. The Great East Japan earthquake occurred on March 11, 2011. The tsunami caused by the earthquake affected the Pacific coast, especially the prefectures of Iwate, Miyagi, and Fukushima. The Great East Japan earthquake was a huge disaster, larger than anything previously experienced. The key to limiting damage from such disasters is multiple options of protection. Seawalls, Sennen Kibo no Oka.
On March 11, 2011, there was a very big earthquake.
Shoreline protection.
It was the Great East Japan earthquake. For 3 minutes, the ground shook very hard.
These are all ways
It
Iwanuma
shook
City
so
is
much
protecting itself
that
against
people
future
couldn't stay.
tsunamis. Moreover, Iwanuma City built roads to achieve faster evacuation from the coast to the inland area. Iwanuma City has been striving to reduce the risk of disaster and achieve perfect reconstruction projects. However, it is still very difficult to predict when the next disaster is going to happen. An earthquake happens when tectonic plates collide with each other and slip off at a certain point. This dislocation vibrates to the surrounding area and eventually reaches the Earth's surface, where we feel the actual earthquake. Is it possible to predict when there is going to be an earthquake and a tsunami?
地震の際にですね、断層が動いて海底を隆起させたり沈降させます。その結果、水面が変化して津波を発生します。その地震の発生の後に津波というのは数分または数十分かけて沿岸部に来ますので、この時間を使って予測というのは可能です。地震自体は予測は難しいんですけども、その後起きた津波というのは観測であったり、また事前に数値シミュレーションをしてデータベースから予測というのが可能なんです。
They say the best way to avoid getting caught by a tsunami is to escape and decide what to do on your own.
何かあった時、誰かがさあ逃げなさいって言ってくれる。ね、なんかあると警報がうーってサイレン鳴る。みんな思ってないですか？でもそういうのって人がやることだよね。機械がやることだよね。うまくいく時もあるけど、うまくいかない時もあるよね。もしかしたら故障しちゃうかもしれない。そういうのを考えると、やっぱり自分で判断しなきゃいけないと思うんですよ。そういうの。
Many people from all over the world have been visiting Sennen Kibo no Oka. They have been working hard to maintain it and the green embankment. Hills made with recycled disaster wastes. Hills filled with memories before the disaster. Hills where people can remember the tragedy that happened on March 11th, 2011, and think about how to safely escape from a disaster when it happens. Sennen Kibo no Oka is a hill of hope that gives people a chance to learn and remember the disaster and all the lessons learned from it for the next 1,000 years.
Okay, can you image the tsunami spark? Okay, let's back to our slide. Wait. Okay. So this is three major earthquake experience already over. So now we have summarized the three earthquake and related park planning. So did you get an idea of the trend of the each time? So because already 1 hour, let's take a break. So I make a quiz for you. Do you know what is this? So if you have some idea, could you write it in the chat? I wait around 30 seconds. Okay, can you imagine what is this one? A chair. It is a good answer. But because this chair was created in disaster resilient park, so I make a hint for you. Chair with some elements. Bench. Okay. I show you answer. Okay. Oh no. It used toilet. It is used as bench in daily life and as a toilet in emergency. The seat can be removed and the toilet seats take out to make a private room with a tent. They are installed in relatively small park and children playground. So next is this one. This look like also this is bench, but bench with some bench can use something. So please image it. Okay. I think this is around here. Here is good hint. So I think it also maybe it put over these woods and use for something. And if you have an idea, please chat it. But maybe it is difficult. I should explain you now. Okay, thank you. It is a bench in normal day and bed. Bed. Bed is also maybe good. But I think if you use as bed, we need to put so many this one. Okay. Yes. Ina is correct. You are right. Okay. This one. Thank you, Ina. It is used as bench in daily life, and emergency it can be used as kamado for cooking out, removing the seat board. So we can fire here. This is kamado, and we can rice. We can make a rice bowl and something, and so it is very important for Japanese. Rice. Same with Indonesia. I think Indonesia also like rice. So there are other facilities also. Park pond can use for water tank and that kind of background. Change to barrack or tent, and it is manhole can use also. This is toilet. So now in Japan's park, that kind of element is set in many places. So only small park have some that kind of element. So we go back to the slide. When after the Hanshin Awaji earthquake, I said the systematization of disaster prevention open space. So I want to explain you this place. So time scale and spatial scale. So yeah, he remembered this one. Okay. So first, I explain you time scale. this is a role of open space during disaster in Japan. So from here is a disaster place. So disaster phase. So prevention, before the disaster occurrence, prevention, mitigation, and preparedness phase, and immediately post-occurrence, emergency response, and temporary response, and restoration, and rehabilitation. And this is a timeline like this one. So target and role of green open space. So I want to share, explain you one by one. So first is this one, pre-occurrence time. So I sometimes think Japanese really like practice. So making a manual and practice, I think we like. So example of reduction drill. So this is a life-saving training. So I think this park for this park residents, this building residents can use this open space, and they training. And this is a medical system check. So it is helicopter transportation. So this is a base force area. So okay, so learning about disaster prevention. So for example, disaster reduction drill, human resource development, examination on disaster reduction, or something more. Okay, next is after immediately post-occurrence time. So it is occurrence to approximately 3 hours. So this phase, the most important thing is protect life. So this is a Hanshin Awaji earthquake photos again. And example, this is an example of buffer from the fires. And also, sometimes open space is used for asking emergent help. It is SOS and heliport here. It means someone who really want to helicopter help. So, and it is SOS on school ground. This is a 2016 Kumamoto earthquake, and it is kami. It means toilet paper, maybe, and pan is bread, and it is water. So they want to food and drink and paper. This is actually a chair, school chair. So if in the area have open space, we can make a sign like this. Okay, next is emergency response. So approximately 3 hours to 3 days. So ensuring the safety and security. So I want to explain the supporting people who working home. It is, I think you understand what is people who working home. So it is 2011 photo in Tokyo. So because 2011 earthquake is far from Tokyo areas, but Tokyo also have a strong shake. So most of transportation stop. So building is don't collapse. Buildings are not collapse, but they cannot go back. So this is it is a Shinjuku station. It is so many big stations, and because trains stop, so many people's crowd is there. So in 2011, approximately 1.51 million people in the Tokyo metropolitan area had difficulty returning home. So after the 2011, open space planning also include to support that kind of people. So for example, like toilet and water and food, they also prepare for that kind of people. And also, this is also Hanshin-Awaji earthquake photo and emergency response here. Distribution of aid and temporary living place for affected people. So this is a timeline, and next is temporary response. So approximately after 3 days. So this phase important target is ensuring the livelihood. So this is an example of temporary living place for affected people. So this one is temporary housing in a sports park in Kumamoto. So this is also temporary housing. So because open space is wide, government can create that kind of temporary house. So it's important. And last is restructuring, rehabilitations. This one. This is a Niigata Chue's earthquake photo, and so many fire cars here. And this is it is a Osaka flood photo, and this is a public bus provided by the Japan Self-Defense Force to the victims, because when water stop, people need to clean, and it is so important infrastructure. Okay, so now we understand the time scale. Can you image each phase have another load, different load during disaster. So now it's a spatial scale. So when an earthquake occurs, open space near home, like 50 meters or distance is important, and emergency shelter can available. So if there is a wide and open space here, evacuation can evacuate here, and this is a base for restoration and recovery activities. So when we focus to the disasters, maybe we need to two type open space. So first one is small is okay, but distance is important. And next is more large scale, and to use restoration and recovery and okay, and so on. So I want to explain the example. This is a big large open space. For it is also can use restoration and recovery based center. I want to explain you one by one. It is an image scape. So where should we go? Okay, anything is okay. This is a heliport for emergency transportations here in and this is a very big, long areas. It is serve as a storage and activity center for evacuation. And here is a water tank to supply drinking water and domestic water. And also there are four multi-purpose hall here, and it is entrance open space for relief supplies and tent here. And it is more good if the hospital and the fire stations can work together with the parks. So maybe it's important the combination here. And this is the trees planting to prevent fire spread and blocking of wind and heat, region heat. So it is also important administrative facility with stockpile food and water. And this is a pond. Pond look like beautiful, but it's also useful. Pond where water can be used for firefighting and others. Okay, this is an image map. Also, this is a image map. This is a more small one. So, like it is a wide area, and put water tank here, and here is a stockpile, and also this is a toilet like here. Okay. Okay. Anki-san, should we move to discussion time?
Okay, if you already finished, so we can continue to enjoy discussion.
Actually, I also prepare. This is a pre-disaster result one, but
okay, maybe
I want to this participant. I want to reply. I want to ask you some questionnaire in the Google form, by the Google form. So today is 91 people. I worry the time schedule because we want to some question time.
Yes,
yeah,
maybe.
It's okay.
Okay.
I do easily explain about pre-research exam result. Wait.
Okay, maybe you can continue with the report for the pre-test of the student. Maybe
Yes.
very brief explanation is okay, and after that we continue to discussion. Is it okay? Maybe you can continue first.
No problem.
Regarding result of pre-test.
Okay, so after this webinar, maybe I want to ask them some Google form questionnaire. Is okay?
Okay, it's okay.
Okay.
After this
Yeah.
webinar, okay.
So this is pre-research. Maybe some of you today also reply this one. Say, and I want to share the result to you. So research date is April 26. Sorry. Okay, and I want to result, and this is the attribute. So yes, disaster experience. So many people earthquake. They experience earthquake. Okay. And from here is important, evacuation place. Okay, which when a building might collapse, nearly 70% of respondents reply to move somewhere, And most of the respondents mentioned open space as evacuation site. So even those who answered mosque and school pointed to the open space of them, not the building. As you can see from the pictures, these open spaces were not well developed, but rather informal green open space such as parking lots, building yards, field, and vacant space. And I think this is an important issue. And yes, this figure, you see it before. And the result of the open space size as follows. With reference to the Japan's criteria, we divided them into three sizes, large, medium, and small. It is near home, a small one. So, and we described characteristic in this way. From this, half of the respondents prefer large scale, much functional, and well-equipped open space. So small, sorry. Okay. So, this is a very important slide, I think. I ask students to point evacuation site by Google Map, and they point open space like this one, but most of them is mainly their yard and parking roads and shopping mall gates. And I think that kind of small open space is also important, but it is difficult to keep long time. It means it is not sustainable open space. So we think to increase that kind of open space in urban planning. Actually, Hanshin Awaji earthquake also so many people evacuate parking lot. So at that time, so many landscape architecture said it is not sustainable to maintain the small open space is important. So need to put in urban planning. So Indonesia is also same problem. It is informal open space and not sustainable, but it's important to evacuate. So I think this is a very difficult and important task in Indonesia. Okay, thank you so much. So I finished.
Okay, thank you. Wow, thank you so much, Dr. Kohori Sensei, for your very wonderful and inspiring lecture.
Really?
So before, we enjoy the discussion, let me try to briefly explain using Bahasa, because in here we have so many participants, almost 100 participants who joined today's webinar. So let me try to just summarize using Bahasa. Is it okay?
Okay, no problem.
Okay, using Bahasa. So baik, terima kasih sudah hadir. Di sini juga ada dari perwakilan Bapeda Kota Bandar Lampung serta BPBD Kota Bandar Lampung dan BPBD Lampung Selatan. Terima kasih banyak Ibu Bapak yang telah hadir serta para mahasiswa yang sangat luar biasa, Ibu Bapak dosen dan para peserta yang lain yang mungkin saya tidak bisa menyebutkan satu persatu. Terima kasih banyak. Jadi saya hanya ingin mencoba untuk sedikit memberikan penjelasan terkait presentasi yang telah disampaikan oleh Dr. Kohori. Yang pertama, adalah terkait dengan di dalam presentasi tadi kita mendapat pelajaran yang berharga tentang bagaimana peran ruang terbuka publik, terutama ketika terjadi suatu bencana. Jadi tadi presentasi Dr. Takako Kohori itu bercerita tentang yang pertama adalah titik balik perencanaan ruang terbuka publik di Jepang. Peristiwa itu dimulai adanya 3 peristiwa bencana alam yang sangat hebat pada saat itu, yaitu yang pertama gempa bumi besar di wilayah Kanto tahun 1923, di mana daerah yang terdampak diantaranya Tokyo, Yokohama, dan sekitar Chiba Prefecture, kemudian Kanagawa dan Shizuoka. Kemudian peristiwa yang kedua adalah gempa bumi besar di selatan Hyogo Prefecture, yaitu tahun 1995 atau yang sering kita kenal sebagai gempa Kobe, di mana wilayah terdampak parah itu di wilayah Awaji Island dan Kobe sendiri. Kemudian peristiwa yang ketiga adalah gempa besar di Jepang Timur pada tahun 2011, mungkin tidak begitu lama, kira-kira 10 tahun yang lalu. Gempa ini menimbulkan tsunami yang hebat pada saat itu, dan wilayah yang terdampak adalah wilayah di Tohoku yang meliputi Miyagi Prefecture, Fukushima Prefecture, dan lain-lain. Kemudian dari peristiwa tersebut diulas tadi satu persatu oleh Dr. Kohori, dimulai pada peristiwa pertama di tahun 1923, dan peristiwa ini menginisiasi proyek untuk perencanaan suatu taman untuk pencegahan bencana, dan proyek itu dimulai beberapa tahun setelah terjadi peristiwa gempa Kanto, yaitu di tahun 1978 ini dimulai inisiasi kegiatan proyek terkait dengan taman pencegahan diluncurkan. Kemudian di dalam pelajaran setelah gempa Kanto, jadi taman pencegahan bencana ini didefinisikan merupakan suatu taman kota dan ruang penyaga hijau yang digunakan sebagai tempat evakuasi serta rute untuk evakuasi. Nah, kemudian di sini juga tadi menyebutkan persyaratan untuk taman pencegahan bencana setelah peristiwa tahun 1923. Itu terdiri dari beberapa persyaratan, di mana kota di dalam area kota metropolitan serta area yang berbatasan dengannya yang didasarkan pada peraturan penanggulangan gempa besar yang telah ditetapkan. Itu lokasi dari taman. Kemudian kepadatan populasi 100 orang per hektar atau lebih, dan total bangunan yang tidak tahan api meliputi 1/5 atau lebih dari area yang meliputi area yang menjadi zona konsentrasi. Kemudian taman kota dengan luas 10 hektar atau lebih, kemudian jalur hijau dengan lebar 10 meter atau lebih. Ini persyaratan pertama setelah peristiwa gempa Kanto. Kemudian pelajaran dari gempa Kobe tahun 1995 itu terdapat tadi Dr. Kohori menerangkan terdapat sebuah foto, di mana foto tersebut memperlihatkan di area di mana suatu area yang dikelilingi oleh pohon tidak ikut terbakar. Di sini artinya adalah pohon sangat efektif sebagai barrier atau penghambat api untuk tidak menjalar ke tempat yang lain. Nah, kemudian dari peristiwa atau pelajaran dari gempa Kobe 1995, ruang terbuka ini digunakan sebagai area evakuasi yang meliputi ada beberapa pemanfaatan, diantaranya pemanfaatan sebagai yang pertama jelas untuk ruang evakuasi darurat, kemudian yang kedua pemanfaatan sebagai tempat pertolongan pertama, yang ketiga adalah pemanfaatan sebagai basis tadi pemulihan dan rekonstruksi. Kemudian pelajaran yang lain dari peristiwa tadi gempa Kobe adalah adanya ruang terbuka tadi, persyaratan ruang terbuka kurang dari 0,1 hektar yang belum dianggap penting dari perspektif pencegahan bencana ternyata bisa berkontribusi untuk mengamankan kehidupan. Kemudian taman skala besar dan ruang hijau yang tidak dikembangkan di pusat kota, di mana kerusakan terkonsentrasi itu pelajarannya yang bisa diambil. Jadi ada taman yang belum termanfaatkan dengan baik di pusat kota. Kemudian ruang terbuka yang masih bersifat independen tadi, masih terisolasi di suatu perkotaan, dan ini perlu penghubungan antara ruang terbuka dan pembuatan suatu jaringan. Nah, poin evaluasinya adalah ruang terbuka perkotaan tidak terbatas pada fungsi, sehingga mereka dapat secara fleksibel menanggapi berbagai kebutuhan ataupun penggunaan dari waktu ke waktu setelah bencana. Kemudian peran ruang terbuka perkotaan dapat dibagi sesuai dengan skala ruang ataupun spasial serta lokasinya. Kemudian yang selanjutnya adalah pelajaran dari gempa dan tsunami Jepang bagian timur, atau biasa kita kenal dengan istilah Great East Earthquake and Tsunami in East Japan, Great East Japan Earthquake and Tsunami. Jadi ruang terbuka di Jepang yang sebelumnya hanya ditujukan untuk bencana alam berupa gempa. Nah, ternyata kriteria tersebut atau kriteria konvensional yang sebelumnya berlaku untuk ruang terbuka di Jepang tidak dapat digunakan sepenuhnya ketika terjadi di peristiwa bencana alam yang menyebabkan tsunami di Jepang Timur. Kemudian dari peristiwa tersebut kemudian muncul suatu persyaratan atau analisis terutama untuk evakuasi, di mana kerusakan atau akibat tsunami ini memerlukan beberapa tindakan, yaitu yang pertama sesuatu untuk mengamankan dengan cepat berupa jalur evakuasi ke dataran tinggi, kemudian yang kedua adalah sesuatu yang bisa memberikan sistem tadi peredam untuk gelombang tsunami. Karena kalau kita berbicara karakteristik garis pantai itu memerlukan suatu sistem pengenalan, di mana sistem pengenalan tersebut diperlukan sistem pengenalan secara sistem vertikal untuk melengkapi jaringan horizontal. Nah, di sini muncul suatu gagasan atau konsep, bahkan ini sudah dibangun, itu apa yang disebut sebagai Millennium Hope Hills. Jadi di mana berdasarkan peristiwa gempa dan tsunami di Jepang Timur tadi, ternyata konkret seawall itu tidak efektif dalam menahan tadi gelombang tsunami yang sangat besar. Kemudian kalau kita lihat tadi ada istilah serba 11 ya, karena itu bertepatan di tahun 2011 dan tanggalnya tanggal 11 Maret. Jadi tadi filosofi yang dikembangkan itu serba 11 tadi untuk Millennium Hope Hills. Kemudian yang menarik dari taman ini adalah atau ruang terbuka ini memanfaatkan sisa-sisa atau limbah ataupun sampah pasca bencana gempa tadi yang digunakan untuk konstruksinya, untuk membangun bukit-bukit tadi yang disampaikan oleh Dr. Kohori Sensei. Kemudian terdapat 6 taman di sepanjang tadi 10 km garis pantai. Taman tersebut ini sangat terkenal sekali. Kalau ini di sebelah tadi ada Sendai Airport, itu ada 6 taman, yaitu Ainokama Park, ada Fujisone Park, Ninokura Park, Hasegama Park, Kabasaki Park, dan Shimbama Park. Kemudian ini berbentuk seperti perbukitan yang dihubungkan oleh parkways ya. Jadi ada seperti tanggul hijau yang dihubungkan oleh suatu jalur taman tadi. Kemudian ini digunakan untuk mengurangi tadi terjangan tsunami yang masuk ke inland. Ini juga berfungsi sebagai tempat evakuasi ketika terjadi tsunami. Kemudian tempat ini juga digunakan sebagai taman peringatan dan tempat pendidikan pencegahan bencana. Tadi ketika yang menarik sekali ketika melihat tadi presentasi Dr. Kohori Sensei, itu ada fungsi-fungsi ruang terbuka publik atau fungsi ada elemen-elemen tadi di dalam suatu ruang terbuka yang sangat fleksibel. Jadi ruang terbuka itu tidak hanya digunakan saat bencana, tapi di dalam daily use atau sehari-hari juga masih bisa digunakan. Dan pelajaran yang menarik lagi dari tadi kasus di Jepang itu adalah terkait dengan pendidikan bencana ini yang mereka mulai dari pendidikan mulai dari usia dini. Ya, jadi meliputi tadi pencegahan dan lain sebagainya itu sangat luar biasa sekali. Jadi nilai-nilai itu sudah ditanamkan pada usia dini. Nah, kemudian tadi Dr. Kohori juga menjelaskan terkait ruang terbuka publik yang bisa dimanfaatkan ketika terjadi bencana pada semua fase bencana yang meliputi fase sebelum bencana, kemudian ketika bencana, dan saat setelah terjadi bencana. Dan dari sini kita belajar bagaimana keberadaan ruang terbuka publik itu sangat penting sekali ketika terjadi bencana, tidak hanya ketersediaan namun juga peningkatan daripada fungsi-fungsi ataupun fleksibilitas daripada elemen yang ada di ruang terbuka publik tadi juga bisa ditingkatkan atau dikembangkan untuk digunakan sebagai tindakan untuk pencegahan bencana. Baik, mungkin kita bisa lanjut ke sesi diskusi. Now we can continue to enjoy the discussion. At first, I will try to give the opportunity for 3 participants who already joined in this webinar. And for the first chance or first opportunity, I will give to the participant who already write in the chat box. And this questions comes from Bapak Toro. Bapak Toro. And I also sent to you, Kohori Sensei, in your chat box. And Bapak Toro has 3 questions. At first, he asks about how is the land tenure system in Japan and how does the Japanese government regulate its public open space in urban design? And the second question is there any type of public space in Japan that must exist in the city, and what kind of public space? Like, is there any necessary things for every city to, to develop a particular park or something? If you have any example or any experience in your country, maybe you can share to us. And the last questions is, in your opinion, what is the ideal proportion of vegetation in open spaces? Maybe at first I will give you the time to try to share your experience based on the 3 questions from Bapak Toro. Maybe could you get the idea of the questions? I also write in your chat box.
Oh.
There are 3 questions from Bapak Toro. I just try to summarize these 3 questions from Bapak Toro.
Anki-san, I reply this question.
Yeah, or maybe you can directly say it's okay. Yeah, directly speak.
Directly speak is more easy.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. How is the land system in open space with disaster resilience is mainly the cities land and prefecture land, and also some of them is independent administrative corporations. So also companies land is also put facilities with disaster prevent facilities. So how is the land system? So what kind of regulate do you mean?
Yes.
What kind of regulate?
Yes, like how the Japanese government makes this kind of regulation and also policy to increase or to develop public open space in urban area. Because sometimes, the land availability is very difficult, and how the Japanese government deals with this kind of issue, like the land tenure system, or like the availability of land to develop this kind of public open space.
Okay. In Japan, cities open space they have open space planning. They already have planning, and every regulation have right there. So I think it's easy to read each city's planning, and Indonesia. What should I do? but なんでしょう。どのように規制しているのか、必ず都市にする。it is difficult to reply all questions, but I don't know. It's good. Regulation is all of them in regional planning. The planning is based one, and how is must exist in the city, must because from the Kanto Grand earthquake in Japan's urban planning make rule and there is a small place, a small open space in the center of the residence area, and how many kilometers and distant kilometers and populations, and in the city size, there is strong manuals in Japan's urban planning. So sometimes I think it is too manual sometimes, because every open space look like same, because so many rule and so many planning, and open space new vegetation population is I don't know, but sometimes I feel because of Japanese characteristics, for example, the open space with play equipment for children, if there is some accident, every equipment moved because there is one accident, put away equipment. So sometimes Japanese open space is reduce the risk, that kind of accident risk. So is it okay? I don't understand. Angi-san, do you understand my English?
Yeah, okay.
Because
your English is very good. Yeah.
I think a disaster open space one. So maybe maybe it's in next step. I can share you the open space in a urban area, but okay. Question I also can bahasa Indonesia, but
There is another questions coming from Hafiz Ali student.
Yes.
So he asks regarding, is there any such kind of requirement or specific requirement to specific requirement of open space who that will use to the certain or specific disaster? Like of course there is kind of the spatial evacuation criteria, right? Like in the different kind of different type of disaster, like like flooding, or maybe tsunami, like you mentioned before, and also like seismic, like earthquake. Of course, there are such kind of specific requirement for the specific disaster. Is it right? So maybe if you have any experience such kind of the requirement except tsunami and also earthquake, like flooding in your country, do you have any experience or something like park for evacuation of flood disaster?
I think in Japan, flood are not common disaster. But I think his question is very good questions. Thank you. I also think it is important to create parks that with each disaster, and but actually before the 2011 disasters, most of the open space in Japan only targeted earthquake. They don't think about tsunami risk not much. So from the 2011, this is landscape architecture thing. This type of open space is quite different, and still discussion and still creating now. So because tsunami's impact is so big, so like in Lampung area, also in Japan, there are so many tsunami risk area. So it is maintenance, still on maintenance. So I think his question is very good one. Thank you. Is okay? Angie Sensei?
Sorry, very good question from Hafiz. And also the first question from Bapak Toro, who already gave 3 questions, and you also already answered all of these questions. And next, is there any one who wants to give the question or comment? Maybe I will give for one participant who will give question or comment or opinion to Kohori Sensei. Oh, I think there is question from Dr. Ren, yeah, from Planning and Development Agency of Bandar Lampung. Okay, from Dr. Ren, please, time is yours. You can ask directly to Kohori Sensei. Dr. Ren is representative from Bandar Lampung local city governments coming from Planning and Development Agency. Please, time is yours. Mbak Ren, silakan Mbak Ren. Mic-nya bisa dihidupkan, Mbak Ren. Mic-nya bisa dihidupkan. Mbak Ren, mic-nya dihidupkan, Mbak Ren. Silakan Mbak Ren.
Oke, terima kasih ya. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Tabi pun. Thank you, Miss Takako Kohori. Let me introduce myself. Maybe I speak English a little. I hope you will understand what I want to talk. My name is Rain. I'm working at civil government in Bandar Lampung, in planning and regional planning in Bandar Lampung City. And I just want to know about something about a little thing from you. You should know that Bandar Lampung has a coastal area that is quite influential in urban life. Recently, like the food and flood rock ya, banjir rock like that. And then Bandar Lampung juga Bandar Lampung with a limited area, have a limited area, not only with tree planting, river revitalization is a tree. There are a park concept. We need a concept about park system maybe ya, park system. A little green open space beside in coastal area in Bandar Lampung. And then you must know that Bandar Lampung is not have much money to build that, but we want in the next year maybe we want to build like a park, just a little with area yang terbatas gitu ya Mas Anggi ya. I mean maksudnya kita cuma punya area yang terbatas, but we want to make a park ya in coastal area in Bandar Lampung. Jadi di sekitar pesisir Bandar Lampung itu we need a park to menunjang in the coastal area in Bandar Lampung like that. Thank you.
Oke, terima kasih Mbak Ren atas pertanyaannya. Thank you for the question. I got your idea. Okay, Kohori Sensei, Dr. Ren from Planning and Development Agency of Bandar Lampung City has questions regarding such kind of specific disaster that Bandar Lampung City is very often occur flooding, especially in the coastal area due to the sea level rise. So in Bandar Lampung City also there are so many obstacles, like so many limitations, like such kind of budget, and also the availability of land to develop the public open space, and try to ask to you regarding your opinion or your experience. Do you have any maybe idea or something like special experience in your country, especially in the coastal area in Japan, how to deal with such kind of disaster, especially related to the public open space in the coastal area to cope with the flooding area due to sea level rise in the coastal area in Japan, maybe. Can you get an idea about the questions?
Okay, I understand. How should I? Japan also have so many risks with flood and tsunami. I said you before, in Kohori, in Japan city don't have a risk of flood. It is because of, for example, in Tokyo's very deep ground. There is a very underground. There is a very drainage facilities. So all of rainwater go there and go to the sea. So I think this is a very big problem for as a landscape architecture. But I think this topic sometimes we cannot do big thing from landscape architecture. So I mean it becomes more more technology discussions, but I think we can do some contributions to infrastructure as a support. For example, in Miyagi area, you see a million park, and it make a hill, and also it make like river, and so it is not a very powerful one, but it can be mitigation. It connects to mitigation. So as a landscape architecture, we can something for mitigation. So I think it is also same with Bandar Lampung city. If we do more powerful thing, we need a very big wall and a big grand facility. But as a landscape architecture, we need to mitigate one by one. I think. Sorry, it is. I don't understand. I can answer you enough, but it is my idea. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Kohori Sensei. Maybe do you have any information regarding how to to deal with this kind of the budget limitation of the public open space planning in your country? Like how to encourage maybe like private sector or other institution to collaborate for public open space planning?
How to collaborate?
Yes, is there any collaborations between or local government and other institutions, like maybe private sector or other parties, maybe? Is there any kind of collaboration?
Collaboration is the land belongs to the cities, but government power is limited in Japan. So more resident, civil resident, they do land is government, but in Japan, many normal people are active there. So, for example, like evacuation drill, also NPO or resident people lead to the activity. So land, they just I think they think they need civil power is encouraged, I think.
Excuse me, if you tidak berkeberatan ya Mas Anggi, I need speak private maybe ya next with you and Mas Anggi about talking about collaboration about park and in coastal area maybe next if you any time. I hope because this will be a big problem in Bandar Lampung because we have seriously about coastal area ya, in Bandar Lampung. Thank you very much about your reason, Mas Anggi. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mbak Len.
Maybe I need send your email. Maybe we can collaborate in letter first. Gmail. I hope you will come to Bandar Lampung if you have time. I will service all out.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, so Bandar Lampung City Government very welcome to you if you want to visit Bandar Lampung in the future, and maybe also we can make such kind of collaboration or and also discussion and also maybe study regarding public open space in Bandar Lampung in the future. Please, we are very welcome if you want to visit Bandar Lampung, and Dr. Ren will service you.
I'm so lucky.
Full of service.
Lucky person.
Okay, thank you. I think, okay, do you have, do you still have any comment, Kohori Sensei?
I want to explain the questionnaire. Only one point. Is it okay? Only a few minutes.
Okay, okay, it's okay. It's okay. Please.
I share the form, and I think most of them is not so difficult, but only conjoint analysis. This also. This is I don't know. It's okay to read this one, but I want to ask the evacuation site point. So open the Google map and like this, select the site and left click and copy latitude and longitude and right here, and another one point is this one. This one actually a little bit difficult, and I want to explain you. And this is the disaster prevention park elements, and there is a seven card, and people need to select which is the number one and which is number two. Anything is okay, but don't overlap the rank. Overlap ranking is if there is overlap, cannot analysis. So please just this one is important. Okay, finish. Thank you.
Okay, it's been that after the webinar, you will distribute this questionnaire, right?
Yes.
To the participant here. And maybe if you don't mind, you can share it in the chat box.
Okay.
So every participant can catch your questionnaire link right now.
So I'm so happy if you reply this one. So I can. Okay, here.
Okay, thank you. So kepada partisipan nanti jika berkenan bisa mengisi kuesioner yang telah disebarkan oleh Dr. Kohori Sensei. Kemudian ada pertanyaan tadi yang dijawabnya harus satu, jadi tidak boleh overlap. Tadi tentang apa hierarki tadi, nilai penting tadi untuk suatu pilihan tertentu tadi tidak boleh overlap antara poin yang satu dengan poin yang lain. Itu tadi yang dijelaskan sedikit oleh Dr. Kohori Sensei. Kemudian terima kasih banyak atas waktunya untuk bergabung pada webinar ini. Thank you so much for Kohori Sensei for your very inspiring lecture this morning. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I'm so happy if you're interested in that kind of open space. Thank
so
you.
if there are any student who interested in this topic, is it okay for you become the supervisor for the students?
Okay.
Okay.
I worried about my poor English and Bahasa Indonesia, but if you're asking me about today's lectures, please contact me anytime, and maybe I should put my email address. Sure.
Okay, please. Thank you so much. So for the student who interested in this topic, you can directly email to Kohori Sensei. So she already sent you the email in the chat box, and you can directly send message to her, or you can send message to me, and I will forward to Kohori Sensei regarding your interesting to her topic. Thank you so much, Dr. Kohori Sensei. Now I will give back the time to the MC, Nabila. Time is yours. Thank you so much.
Baik, terima kasih Dr. Takako Kohori atas pemaparan materi dan ilmu yang telah dibagikan. Thanks to Dr. Takako Kohori for the presentation of material and knowledge that we share. Dan terima kasih banyak kepada Pak Anggi yang telah memandu sesi diskusi dan tanya jawab pada acara hari ini. Thank you to Mr. Anggi who has guided the discussion and Q&A session at today's event. Acara selanjutnya adalah penyerahan sertifikat kepada Dr. Takako Kohori selaku pemateri, dan sertifikat akan diserahkan oleh Bapak Acep Furkon selaku Direktur ITERA International Office, yang akan diwakilkan oleh Bapak Anggi Mardianto.
Okay, this is the certificate from our university. I will send you from Japan after I return or I come back to Kyoto. I will send you by post. Is it okay for you? Thank you so much for this morning lecture. Very inspiring lecture indeed. Thank you so much.
For Mr. Anggi and Dr. Kohori, please hold for a moment to take a picture. Okay, 1, 2, 3, done. Thank you, Dr. Kohori and Mr. Anggi Mardianto.
Thank you, Nabila.
Okay. Last but not least, is a moment for us to take a picture together. For all audience, please turn on your camera and prepare the best smile you can have. Acara selanjutnya adalah seksi dokumentasi. Izinkan saya untuk meminta kesediaannya Bapak dan Ibu serta hadirin semua untuk menyalakan kamera dan persiapkan senyum terbaik Anda, karena kita akan foto bersama. Baik, kita mulai dari slide yang pertama. Untuk operator, apakah sudah siap? Oke. 1, 2, 3. Oke, next slide. 1, 2, 3. Oke. The last slide. 1, 2, 3. Oke, thank you. Tibalah kita saat di penghujung acara. Well, that's wrap up our event. Terima kasih untuk Dr. Kohori, suatu kehormatan bagi kami untuk dapat mendengarkan materi dari pembicara yang luar biasa seperti Anda. Thank you very much, Dr. Kohori. It's an honor for us to have such amazing speaker like you. Merupakan kesenangan bagi kami untuk menjadi tuan rumah acara ini. It has been our pleasure to host in this event. Terima kasih untuk seluruh peserta yang telah hadir di acara ini. Semoga acara ini dapat bermanfaat dan berguna bagi kita semua. Kami tunggu kehadirannya di acara selanjutnya. Thank you for all audience to attend this event. We hope that event can be useful and worthwhile to all of us. We look forward to seeing you at the next event. Saya mewakili seluruh panitia pada acara hari ini. Mohon maaf atas segala kekurangan dan kesalahan yang ada. Terima kasih dan sampai jumpa. I represent all the crew at this event, even apologies for all mistake and fault. Thank you very much and goodbye. Saya akhiri wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih Pak Anggi, terima kasih Bu Rain, terima kasih semuanya.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you Dr. Kohori.